Welcome back to the Rebellious Media Conference here in the Friends Meeting House in Euston, London. I'm talking to Zahira Harb, who's a Lebanese academic and journalist. Zahira, you were doing a session this morning about radical media in the Global South. Can you tell us how that went?
I was talking mainly about the Arab revolutions and the social media effect. And my thesis actually suggests that we don't have, or radical media rarely exists in the Arab world in the form that it exists in different Western countries. And the way the social media, the role the social media played during the Arab revolutions, have actually inspired many scholars and analysts, and I'm one of them, to claim that the social media and the blogosphere in the Arab world has become the new form of radical media in the Arab world.
Okay, so we're talking Facebook, we're talking Twitter.
We're talking Facebook, we're talking Twitter, we're talking blogs.
That's interesting because the mainstream media, the traditional media, very much took up that line as well, which makes kind of radical media people a bit sceptical about it. That this was a Twitter, Facebook revolution.
We cannot call it a Facebook revolution or a Twitter revolution because Twitter, Facebook, and other social networks did not actually generate. The revolution did not happen because we had Facebook and Twitter in that sense. Like Facebook and Twitter did not actually generate the problems that these people are actually facing. What these platforms have done is they gave the space for the people to be able to express themselves. Gave them this, what we call in academia, this new public sphere, if you want to call it, where they were able to communicate with each other and communicate with other people, spreading information about, the kind of oppression they were living under. And later on, they were able to use this space to facilitate gatherings. And this is what the social media did during mainly Egypt and Tunisian revolution.
Okay, because very often, but whole swathes of the social movements are left out of obviously the mainstream media's account. I mean, for instance, if you look at Egypt, a lot of prominence was given to some quite, young and middle class protesters in Cairo. But we know that the Egyptian trade union movement has been campaigning for years, strikes, arrests, tortures, and so forth, and was one of the main builders of that revolution.
What you have seen during the Egyptian revolution is an example when these young, middle-class, educated, internet literate youth have actually came together with the workers' unions. Basically, workers were the substance, the main substance, beside the young people of Cairo and young people of Egypt, of this revolution. So they stood together and they helped each other. It all started with the the Kifaya movement, the Enough in Egypt, which basically gathered different groups of the Egyptian society, and the workers were part of that. The Mahalla uprising that took place years ago was part of it was actually informed to the people and to the workers through social networking, through blogging, through the internet.
This was a factory strike occupation, wasn't it?
It was a strike against, I think, pay cuts and redundancy plans by the factory owners.
Yeah. What you're saying is that social media is also rooted in the working class movements.
For those who have access to the internet, yes. For those who are able to use the social media, yes, it is there. And what helped also is that you became able to use social media networks in Arabic, in different parts of the Arabic world. So that also helped giving access to these people into social media networks. But the most important thing is that those middle class, educated, young people gave their platforms, gave their voices to the workers. So they were facilitating the workers' demands. And there was this kind of relationship that grew between the two.
Will that carry on into whatever settlement
I
comes?
think it's still going on. I was just talking earlier that if you talk to journalists in Egypt, and those are the people that I have contacts with mainly, they tell you that we're not yet post-revolution, we're still in the revolution. So we're still struggling, and that struggle will continue, and that's what's happening now in Egypt. You see this demonstration that's taking place in Tahrir Square every Friday or every other Friday. These demonstrations are taking place because they wanted to bring the revolution back to its original spirit, and they don't want it to be hijacked by neither the military apparatus nor other political factions in the country.
Tell us something about Lebanon and the situation there. If we go back to 2006 and the Israeli attack, how was social media used there, and how's the situation developing there?
I didn't have social media then, but I've written an article about the role that the blogosphere played in the July 2006 war. And what I said is that the bloggers that was actually writing from Lebanon played or gave us an alternative tool of war reporting. So you had bloggers like Hanadi Salman from Beirut, for instance, or Rasha Salti from Beirut, who were actually writing daily on the atrocities, on the daily life of the Beirutis, of the Lebanese who were under attack by Israeli military power. These blogs spread, through networks of contacts to other parts of the world, to alternative media platforms, to radical media platforms, either online or the traditional media types, basically. So the bloggers in 2006 who were blogging from Beirut played a very important role in disseminating the kind of atrocities that was actually taking place there.
And what about other media? I mean, video, for instance.
Again, the difference within Lebanon is that you have a very active hybrid media scene in Lebanon. So you had the Lebanese media, all the TV stations that operates in Lebanon are on satellite, basically. So these were able to report also, pictures from what was happening on the ground. So they also played a very important role in that aspect. But when we're talking about the blogosphere in Lebanon during the 2006 July war, we're talking about those people who were able to spread the word over the internet. So you will have Rasha Salti's blogs actually coming out on websites like clearinginformation.org. Lots of radical media were using their blogs. And also many of the activists who were actually acting, let's say in Britain with the Stop the War Coalition, the anti-war movement, they were using these blogs in order to explain and make it more evident the kind of atrocities that the Israelis were committing against the Lebanese population.
Okay. Yes, now I want to plug a group I know in Egypt. There's a video collective, they're workers' video collective connected to the trade union movement called Intifadat, who are making high quality reports of everything that goes down. You see the radical end of the Egyptian revolution, which you do not see on the BBC, which is secular. And left-wing, and now arguing to support the people in Gaza and stuff like this, and there's very exciting things happening. So Zahira, thanks very much, and I hope we'll talk again.